Our channel Competitive Master. Today we are going to discuss about square and square roots. Square roots of number. So generally all of you know the square of a number up to 30. Beyond that numbers, let's find the square at very small time. Let's take an example, 53 square. So here we find the square by a formula known as, first we add the number exceed 50. Here the number 3 exceed from 50, so we add that number with 25. Then second place we have to add the square of that number. We get the square here 28, and the number square 3 square is 09. First two places comes from here 25 plus 3. Then second two places comes the square of the exceeding number. Okay, then another example, here is 56 square. So here we add 25 plus 6 because the number 6 exceeds from 50. So another second places comes from square of 6. So here 31 and 6 square 36. It is the square of 56. Then another example, when the number exceeds 100. Let's take an example, 102 square. Here that time we found, here we add the number with 25, and here the number exceeds 100. So we add the number exceeding number. Here we add 25 plus 6, but here the number with exceeding number, and the second unit places we add the square of that number. So here we come 104 and 2 row square, that is 04, which is the square of 102. Another example we don't tell, we accept here the number less than 50. So take an example, 48 square. So here the exceeding number, so add with 25, but when the number less than 50, then we subtract that less number from 25, means here 2 less, the number 2 is less than from 50. So here we subtract the number 2 from 25, and then second the square of 2. So here we get 23, and the square of 2 is 04. Here is the answer of 48 square. Then you know about 102 square. Then another example, when two numbers are multiplied, here is here an example. Here we see that there is one number between two numbers, then adjacent numbers. Here we accept 18. So when we find the multiplication of that adjacent numbers, there is an formula 18 square minus 1, because we left that number. Here is 18 square 324 minus 1 323. Here by using this formula you can find this type of numbers, 23 and 25 means 24 square minus 1 means 575. This is the square of all numbers. Then we find the square root of number. Generally you know square root means when we represent the square root as fraction, then it is 1 by 2, and cube root as 1 by 3. So let's find the square root of 8464. First we separate the number from right side as pairing, because we know the square of every number comes from when it multiply by two same numbers. Means 25 equal to 5 into 5, it then implies 5 square. So square root of 25 gives us 5. So when we separate, so we separate the numbers as pair. Then we do the square of numbers adjacent to that numbers. 84, we know that 81 is the square of 9, and exceed the numbers 84. 9, the square of 9 is 81, then square of 10 is 100. Then we find the unit place. So square of the which number square gives the unit place as 4. We know 2 gives us 4 as unit place, and the square of 8 also gives 4 at unit place. So we don't know whether it comes, which number gives that square. Means square root of number, we don't know what comes. Then we find, we saw what is the less distance between these numbers. Here we see 81 and 84, it is the difference 83, and here it is the difference 84 difference 16. So we concluded that we comes 9 square. So here is 9 and here is also 9. Due to less number, here we get 92 square as the square root of this. Okay, understand? If you have any doubt, please comment in our session. Okay, then we found another square root. Okay, square root of these numbers, pairing. So everybody know 151, the square of 12 is 144, and the square of 13 is 169. So here we see the unit place 9. So 9 comes square of 3 and also comes from the square of 7. So we saw the distance, which is less distance from these two numbers, 144, 151. Here is the distance or difference 7, and here is the difference 51, 61, 10, 18. So here is the less difference. So we concluded 122 square is the square root of that number. Now find the square root of 9604. As I told that separate the number up from right side, that is 2 number from right side. So the square of number nearest to 96 is 81 and other square is 100. So the digit at unit place is 4. We know square of 2 gives us 4 at unit place, and also square of 8 gives us 4 at unit place. Then we find which difference is less, either 81 to 96 or 96 to 100. 81 to 96, the difference between is 15, and the difference between 96 to 100 is 4. So we see that the difference between 96 to 100 is 4. The square of 92 does not give the answer because the difference is very high. So the square of 98 gives us the actual answer, which is right answer, and the result is 98. Then find the cube root and cube root. So generally we know about the cube of 1 to 10 and remember the digit come at unit place. So cube of 1 gives us 1 at unit place, cube of 2 gives us 8 at unit place, cube of 3 gives us 7 at unit place, cube of 4 gives us 4 at unit place, cube of 5 gives us 5 at unit place, cube of 6 gives us 6 at unit place, cube of 7 gives us 3 at unit place, cube of 8 gives us 2 at unit place, cube of 9 gives us 9 at unit place. Here the cube of 5 and the cube of 9 and the cube of 1 gives the same digit at unit place. Then find what is the cube root of 3, 2, 7, 6, 8. As we separate the two number in square root, here we separate the number from right side as 3 numbers from right side, because we find here the cube root. Cube root means everybody know that cube of number is the multiplication of 3 same numbers, means multiplication of number at 3 times. So we separate the 3 numbers from right side, and as we know that the nearest cube to 32 is 27, which is a cube of 3, and next 464, another nearest cube is 4 cube. So here the unit place is 8. As I told, cube of 2 gives us the 8 at unit place. So here is 2. It is the less distance to 27 to 32. So 32 cube gives us the cube root of this. Then another number 9261. We separate the 3 digit from right side. Then we take the nearest cube, means 2 cube, which is 8, and next is 3 cube is 27. The difference is very high, and here the unit place is 1. So 1 gives the cube of 1 gives the unit place as 1. So here is the difference less, that is 1. So 21 cube gives the actual cube. Answer is 21. So guys, please watch our videos and like, and don't forget to subscribe and share to friends. If you have any doubt, please comment, and don't forget to press the bell icon for further updates.